sat on the couch after coming back from the mission and a maid gave her a glass of water. What is she doing? She created a mess inside the bedroom, Mr. Kim, and didn't have lunch too. He gulped down the water and went straight upstairs to her bedroom. Opening the door with the spare keys, he saw her sitting on the floor and her head was resting on the bed edge. What's this? He said coldly, but she immediately looked at him with shining eyes. I wanted to talk to you, but your mates didn't allow me, so I just get angry. You have no idea how much I missed you. She admitted while getting up when Taehyung noticed blood stain over her hand, the skull. He immediately took steps towards her and grabbed her hand. A smile came across her face seeing how concerned he was. Sit here. He made her sit on the bed and taking the first aid box from the cupboard, he sat beside her. Holding her hand, he cleaned the wound gently and she was looking at him with love. Yes, she fell in love with her cold kidnapper. You do care about me, Tae. Why don't you accept it already? He kept silent and wrapped the bandage around her hand. Now eat something. Only if you feed me. He angrily held her jaw, but her smile didn't fade. Don't forget, you are nothing to me, girl. Once I take what I want from your father, then I'll kill you. That's a good decision. I would rather die going to than hell again. His grasp loosened, seeing the pain in her eyes, and wanted to secure her in his arms, but his ego was bigger than anything. Clean this mess or else consequences warn me in your favor. With that, he walked outside while Vaya looked at him with blurry vision. You know, Tae, I'm not just your enemy's daughter anymore. It's been 2 months since Taehyung kidnapped her and she's living with him, but she never sees his cruel side as he pretended to be. She felt happy seeing him around, felt a sense of comfort the way he treated her despite caging her in his wall, and that was the reason she grew feelings for him. He was the man she ever asked for, but his ego was just pushing him away. Taehyung and Jimin were sitting at the dining area having dinner while discussing about Wyan's father. It's been already more than 2 months, Taehyung. I don't think he does care about Wyan, or else he would provide us the documents. What should we do now? First, release Wyan. She was hurting between our rivalry. The grasp of Taehyung tightened around his spoon. It wasn't easy for him to let her go when she was ruling his heart since the day he saw her. He was clear in the start that he won't hurt Wang's daughter in any way and only keep her scared, but due to his pure feelings, he treated her as she was the queen of this world. Then we have to make a plan to attack her father's secret company. I'm sure she must know something, or maybe could help us. I'll talk to her. By the way, where is she? In her bedroom. Jimin nodded when a maid came with the tray of food. What happened? Sir, Miss Wine denied to have something again. She didn't eat anything since last night. Jimin gave a glance to Taehyung, who acted unbothered, but Jimin knew him very well. It's time to free her. Patting his shoulder, Jimin took his leave and Taehyung also, but in the middle of the stairs, he stopped. Coming back to the kitchen, he took the food tray and ignoring the maid's gaze, he came inside her room. Surprisingly, the room was clean and he placed the tray on the table, catching her attention who was busy in reading a book. Don't show your tantrums and have dinner. Closing the book, she showed him her bandaged hand with innocent eyes. Help me, it's hurting. Taehyung glared at her, but she sat on the couch and patted the couch beside her. Kim, you just can't melt. Yet his heart followed her order and he feeded her with his own hands. He didn't know what power she had that he go against his own decisions. Slow down, no one is snatching food from you. I'm hungry. She smiled while eating and he just looked away. Soon she was done and kissed his cheek, making him shocked. Thank you, I will. I know you're gonna kill me. She chuckled that his raging gaze softened and she decreases the distance between them. I have a wish and I don't care. How about we sleep together? She said innocently and Taehyung was just processing her blunt words. It's good to fulfill the last wish of the person who is going to die. Shut up, just shut up. She flinched this time and Taehyung massaged his temple to calm himself. She had no idea how much he was hurting with her words. Not a single word now, or else I'll tie you with chains then. She smiled cheekily, testing his patience, and he took his sleeve while closing the door with a loud thud. He's cute. Laying on the bed, now she started the reading book again and like that fell asleep. Wyan came downstairs just to see Jungkook was playing with a cute puppy. Wyan's eyes lightened and she took him in her arms. Jungkook, he's so cute. Did you bought him? She kissed his hair gently and he licked his tongue over her cheek, making her giggle. No, it's Taehyung's baby, Kim Tan. He loves Pat. How sweet of him. She played with Tan as he was her baby too when Taehyung and Jimin came downstairs. Tan, baby come. But he betrayed Taehyung and didn't budge from Wyan's hold. Oh, I think Tan loves his mother more. Jimin and Jungkook controlled their smiles while Taehyung glared at her, but she didn't care anymore. Let's have breakfast. She took him to the kitchen while Taehyung looked at her disappearing figure. His kidnapping is not kidnapping anymore, he whispered. It's kidnapper to lover drop, he whispered back. And we love it. They giggled and three of them sat on the chair for breakfast. Did you talk to her? No. Then what you doing for a long time in her bedroom? He looked at Taehyung with suspicious yet hidden playful eyes. You was Hyung? Smiled cheekily. What's happening? With her entry, Taehyung felt a relief, but it didn't last longer, seeing her kissing Tan and felt jealous. Am I serious? He's my Tan, but he diverted her attention from me. He thought, Wyan, I want to ask something, so give Tan to Jungkook and listen to me carefully. Giving a last peck, she gave him to Jungkook and concentrated on Taehyung. You have to give me an honest answer, whatever I'm going to ask you. Okay, do you know any secret basement or office of your father? If you're cooperative, then you'll be free from here. You know, my dad is so weird. If he wants to hide something, then he did everything openly. What do you mean? His secret place is in front of everyone, his main branch building. No one even thinks that he does his all illegal work there while maintaining a big legal pharmacy company. Even we didn't think about it. Now I will expose him to the world. All the best. She started having breakfast while three of them understood how much hate she had for her father. It was a week past to that conversation, but to Wyan's surprise, Taehyung and his team didn't find anything there. Taehyung trusted Wyan and suspicious that one of his team members was with Bang. That was the reason that Taehyung, Jimin and Jungkook was working on the mission secretly. Jungkook, where are you taking me? Her eyes were closed by his hands and she was following his lead for 5 minutes. We are almost here. He opened her eyes and she saw a beautiful setup at the beach for her birthday. Oh my god, thank you so much. Thanks, Taehyung. It was his idea. Despite telling Jungkook not to disclose in front of Wyan, he did as he wanted to see his Hyung happy. Thank you so much, Tae. Happy birthday. He couldn't maintain his cool tone, but he forgot how to breathe when Wyan hugged him tightly with teary eyes. Thank you for making it memorable for me. He hesitantly wrapped his arms around her while Jimin and Jungkook took pictures of them. They're looking so good with each other, no doubt. Both of them broke the hug, then Wyan cut the cake. Most fearful gangsters were clapping and singing birthday song for her. First, she gave the piece of cake to Taehyung, then Jimin and Jungkook. You guys are awesome. I never knew I could feel so happy and better with you. Thank you for kidnapping me and showing me the real meaning of life. Happiness was shining in her eyes and she hugged three of them with adorance, but their moment didn't last longer when they heard the gunshot. Wyan's face was full of bruises, her left eye was blue and swollen, her body was aching due to immense pain as her father beaten her to death. I'm ashamed to call you my daughter, you giving your information for some? He pinched her stomach that blood oozed out from her mouth. He knew his daughter was living there peacefully and he never cared in those months. But when he got to know from Taehyung's betrayal member that his own daughter spilled the truth, now he wanted her back just to show her hell. Haejin, His trusted man immediately came inside and saw Vine's condition. It was not the first time Van took out his frustration on Vine. Yes, boss, took her to the hospital and gave a statement to the police that her kidnapper did everything. I want those to live a hell behind the bars. Okay, boss. With pity, Haejin took Vines in his arms and took her to the hospital, but she was kept calling Taehyung. Haejin, please save my day. Wish I could go against that monster. With teary eyes, he laid her inside the car and drove off immediately. On the other hand, Taehyung, Jungkook and Jimin ran away from the prison because it was not easy for anyone to tie them, and now they were searching for Vine. Hyung. Both of them stopped and looked at the screen where Jungkook pointed his finger, the big screen of the building showing Vine's condition from the hospital room, and their names were exposed as accusers. Taehyung fell on his knees, his eyes filled with tears seeing her condition, and covered his face while crying brutally. Never in his life he felt so helpless, so vulnerable and broken. Jimin and Jungkook tried to console him, but no use. You can't just cry, Taehyung. You have to take revenge for her. You have to end that Wang. He deserved painful death for treating your Vine like that, Hyung. You have to fight for her, for your parents. These words burning the rage inside him, and wiping his tears harshly, Taehyung looked at the screen once again. I promise I will never let your culprit live peacefully, and gave him a worse death. The TV screen was showing how brutally angry people were showing rage on Wang as he came out of the court. Due to less police force, people got the opportunity to kill Wang by their own hands, and he got the worst brutal death. Taehyung was the one who disclosed his black market money, his all illegal work to the media and government, that how he was secretly supplying drugs, weapons, killing people if they came between his work, and even his pharmacy company was the reason of thousands of deaths. It was not easy, but he was determined to take his revenge at any cost because he lost his parents because of poisonous medicines. His Vine went to deathbed almost, and Haejin's help was beneficial for him. Are you satisfied? More than ever. She hugged him and he wrapped his arms around her securely. It was a week past since Taehyung again took her to the mansion and confessed how much he was in love with her. Now turned it off. I don't want to see his face anymore. Taehyung followed her order and covered themselves with a comforter as they were laying on the bed. Thank you, Tae. Thank you for everything. How many times I told you to not thank to me? It's my duty to take care of you because without you, I'm nothing. I love it when you say such words. You remind me about Niall. Who's Niall? She chuckled, sensing the jealousy in his tone. He's a fictional character. Remember, I love to read books. Oh, I think I should read them too so I get to know what you love. That's a great idea. She kissed his cheek, but before she could back away, Taehyung cupped her face, his thumb brushing over her cheek gently, and their gaze locked to each other. You know, I have so many plans, but I can't wait anymore. For what? To marry you, Vine. Will you marry me and let me call you mine for forever? I'm as desperate as you. The distance between their lips decreased, and for the first time their lips connected into a soulful kiss that their eyes moistened. That was how the beautiful relationship of them began, leading them into a happily married life.